Hi guys, my name is Serena Hill, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create homemade, inexpensive wall decals. Now, all you're going to need for this is some kind of material of some sort, an old piece of clothing, sheets, just anything like that. Okay, you're also going to need scissors, flour, water, a craft brush or some type of paintbrush, a plastic container, a wet washcloth, and a plastic trash bag or something to line the floor with. Now, first off, what you're going to have to do is you need to cut, one other thing. You also need something to cut out a design on first. Usually cardstock works best because, well, it's a lot harder and you're going to be able to trace a lot better on it. I just used computer paper and it was a lot harder to trace with, but here's my stencils. I'm actually creating a birdhouse to hang over in my daughter's nursery. You can actually see the outline of the birdhouse where it was here before because I haven't washed the wall where it's been. I put it up and then I decided to take it back down and put it back up for the video. Now this can be washed off. It's just residue from the paste that's on here. You can see the outline. This washes off with just some soap and water and a washcloth. Usually a Brillo pad works best. You just got to scrub it and it comes off real easy and it doesn't damage the walls. This will be good for if you rent somewhere and you're not allowed to paint. Now, I think the homemade wall decal is a better idea because wall decals can get pretty expensive, and if you do it homemade, you can do whatever design you want, whatever color, and there's so many beautiful patterns out there, just clothing and sheets. And if you go to, I don't know if you go to have a Goodwill in your town or any other old consignment shops, you can find all these patterns, all these old fabrics and sheets and blankets and things that would just be really cute. And of course, we're doing this in my daughter's nursery. I already have a tree branch put up here, and it's made from the same fabric that I used to make a very large tree in my daughter's room as well. And I'll show you that in a bit when we finish up our birdhouse. Now, I already pasted a ribbon to the wall to hang my birdhouse from, and all I have to do is add the birdhouse and also a small bird I'm going to put at the top of it. Alright, so first off, you got to get your stencils. Here's mine for our birdhouse. Now, if you're having trouble finding a design, you can look online and just type in whatever you're looking for. I typed in birdhouse wall decals on Google and brought a bunch of images and kind of seen how they did it, and then I kind of copied. Alright, so there that is. And then here's my bird. Same thing I did with it. Put a little piece of paper. Alright, then I actually used some of my daughter's crib sheets because she has tons of them, and the color scheme matched her room. So here it is after. And the top. This is actually from an old dress. Oh, it's kind of curled up there. Oops, you get the picture. And here's her bird. Alright, so let's get started. First off, you're going to have to make the paste. I make my own paste. You can probably buy it somewhere safe for balls, but it's a lot cheaper and easier just to make your own. Now, first thing you're going to need, I only need a small amount of paste, so I'm going to use 1/4 cup of all-purpose self-rising flour. So 1/4 cup of flour goes in there. Now I also have 1/2 cup of hot water. Hot water works best because, of course, the flour is going to dissolve a lot quicker that way and easier. I'm going to take my spoon, stir it. And you got to stir it up real good, make sure there's no clumps in it. It's a very thin paste. I don't know if you can tell. Very thin. Just kind of keep at it. The water wasn't real hot. I've been sitting here talking. It's kind of cooled off, so didn't really think that through. Okay. Just make sure you get most of the lumps out, really all the lumps. Stir it up real good. I'm not sure exactly where you would buy a paste to do this with that would be safe for your walls. But I know flour is, because you got to think if you spill flour and water on the wall and then you're having to wipe it off after it dries, what would be the big deal about that, you know, because you use flour and water cooking anyway. And I have taken it off and completely moved the residue before. I just didn't with this. I'm sorry. I probably should have done that beforehand. I don't really want to leave real quick and have to gather everything up while the video is on, though, to wash this off. But it will still stick to it even though it's already on here. Okay, so here's our paste. As you can see, very thin paste, very watery, almost looks like milk. Now, I'm going to use a small craft brush. You can use whatever size you need to. This is just what mine looks like. Very small. Alright, so let's get started. Now, I told you before that you're going to need a wet washcloth. And think mine a little bit more. The reason I use a wet washcloth is because whenever you're applying the paste, you're going to get some on the outer edges, and when you go to lay down another piece of whatever design you're putting on there, the flour paste is going to stick to the design side of it, and then whenever it dries on the wall, you're going to see little white spots all over it. It actually happened with the tree I told you about earlier that I made my daughter's sweater. So, yeah, this is best because it's going to stick to it, and where it's going to be damp, it just doesn't stick to it. Alright, so I'm going to start off with her bird. Put the design side down. Alright. Take some of the paste here. Transfer it over to my left hand. Take some of my paste. Apply it to the bird. And once again, just try to make sure you don't get it on the design side because you don't want a bunch of white residue drying all over it. I've also seen someone do this, a wall decal design with craft paper, construction paper and stuff, and they did it with Elmer's glue and mixed water with it, and it came off nice. I suppose that might work with fabric. You could try it. I'm not sure because I haven't. But this is a paste that people make usually for piñatas when they do the flour and water, you know. Alright. I'm just going to stick my little bird right here. And the best part about this is that it's not a sticker, so you can actually form it and shape it and scooch it around. You don't have to worry about keep peeling it and sticking it back the way you want. You kind of got to move it around. And you got to smooth it, make sure all the air bubbles are out and all the edges are smoothed down. Alright, there's our little bird. Now for the birdhouse, as you can already see where I had it down here because I didn't wash it off. So, sorry about that. I promise it does come off. Okay. Take my wet washcloth. As you can see, there's stuff left over on there from the bird. But I'm not going to put this on here, design side down. It shouldn't stick to it where it's wet. So, once again, apply it. Shoot. I just got it on the other side. Got in a hurry. A larger brush would be better. Probably be easier. Now you can probably hear it splattering a lot over here, kind of making a huge mess, but I actually have a plastic grocery bag down here to catch anything so it won't get in the carpet, because it's kind of hard to get out of the carpet, fire and water, you know. I'm over here breathing really hard like I'm running a marathon or something. And all I'm doing is tasting. Okay. So there's the top of the birdhouse. And I'll overlap it. And a little thing here. I did get some on the outside, and what you can do when that happens is just kind of smooth it off. My edges are kind of jagged. I'm sure you can do better. Is that even? Okay, good enough. Good enough. Okay, now for the actual house part of my birdhouse. Design side down. Transfer it over to my left hand. With some paste. If you're having trouble with the edges of your fabric going everywhere, you can actually just wet your fabric first. So that way it'll be easier and it will lay down flat for you and it won't scooch around on you. I actually did that originally yesterday when I first put this up here. Okay. You just need a very thin layer. Don't glop it on there. That's why the paste is supposed to be so thin. You don't want huge gunks of paste on here. Okay, so that is. I don't think I want it to overlap. I didn't last time. Now we're scooching it around. There's probably going to be white marks once it dries from the paste, and you can just wash that off around the edges if that happens. It just kind of wipes clean. Once again, smooth all the edges down, sure there's no air bubbles. Okay. Crooked little birdhouse. Needs to be scooched over just a little bit more, doesn't it? There, that's a little bit better. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of a cartoon birdhouse. So there you have it. There's our little birdhouse on our tree branch and our little bird. And all we have to do is wait for it to dry. And it's very thin fabric I'm using, so it won't take very long to dry at all. So there we go. Alright, and I'm going to show you the tree I also did in my daughter's room to let you know, what other stuff you can do. It's not just simple stuff like this. You can do things that are a little bit more elaborate. Sorry. So let me take you around the room real quick. Give you a little tour. I can't talk. Okay. Well, this actually right here is a French bulletin board I made. I made it out of sheets, cardboard from a diaper box, ribbons, buttons, and hot glue. And if you would like to see a video on how to make this French bulletin board, just leave a comment below and maybe I could do something on it. Here's the tree I was telling you about. It's a very large tree. I did it out of a king size sheet. I started with the trunk of the tree, and once I had that design cut out, I actually cut it into smaller strips and pieced it together on the wall, because it would be very hard to put a design that big on the wall and paste it that way. Then I cut out each individual leaf and pasted them up there individually. And I also did a wall border, the little leaves all around her room, as you can see. Now, the other thing I did was, the other day I actually made 2 turtle doves out of that same material to hold up her thing above her bed, so you can see them. And also made a thing above the bed if you're interested in it. I don't know if you are. It's actually just made from a bed skirt, ribbon, and fake flowers. And it can be taken down and washed because they're just put up on there by safety pins, the little flowers are. So if you'd like to know how to make that also, just leave a comment below. Now, the other thing I have is these wall letters. And I also made these out of the fabric from the old dress I told you about that went to the birdhouse. From No Cheat, and once again cardboard from a diaper box. So there they are. Once again, if you'd like to know how to create any of these things, just leave a comment below. Maybe I can do some more videos. I hope you like the wall decal idea, and I hope it works out well for you. And I'll give you one last little look at it. So there's our little wall decal. Alright, well, I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks, bye.